Good morning to you all. This is Dr. K. Pushpam, Assistant Professor in Sociology. Today we are discussing about social problem. Social problem affect the public at large. Social problem is applied only to that issue which is social ethics and society consider as unfavorable. A problem may be on individual problems under one set of circumstances and a social problem under another. Social problems change with the passage of time. For example, what was not considered a social problems a few decades ago may become a crucial social problem 2 decades. Hence, the history changes the definition of social problems. The issues that society considered major in the past are often not that important in the present. For example, at one point in time, a major concern in the United States was car theft. Obviously, this is no longer an issue. Another example, sati, child labor, illiteracy, child marriage, slavery, and religious conversion were not considered a malady in Indian history. But today, all of these are undesirable in contemporary India. A social problem does not exist for a society unless it is recognized by that society to exist. In not being aware of social problem, a society does not perceive it, address it, and discuss it, or do anything for eradicating it. So, the crucial point is identification of a particular issue by the society as a problem. Next one is definition of a social problem. Reinhardt, a social problem has been defined as a situation confronting a group or a section of society which inflict injurious consequences that can be handled only collectively. Another author, Walls and Farfay, a social problem as a deviation from the social ideal, remediable by group effort. And Fuller and Myers, a social problem as a condition which is defined by a considerable number of persons as a deviation from some social norms which they cherish. Next one is Merton and Nisbet. A social problem is a way of behavior that is regarded by a substantial part of social order as being in violation of one or more generally accepted or approved norms. Rab and Cell 6, they says a social problem is a problem in human relationships which seriously threatens society or embitters the important aspirations of many people. Last one is Horton and Leslin. A social problem is a condition affecting a significant number of people in ways considered undesirable about which it is felt that something can be done through collective social actions. It is often defined as a condition which many people consider undesirable and wish to correct. Next one is the characteristics of social problems. Harmful consequences for society, deviations from the normal situation, social in origin, caused by many social conditions, interconnected, affect all sections of society, different impact on different individual, require a collective approach for their solutions and occur in all societies. Then next moving on reactions to social problems. An attitude of unconcern, fatalism, vested interest, absence of expert knowledge. An attitude of unconcern, many people remain indifferent to a problem, thinking that is does not affect them. Sometimes their own individual problems like family tensions, job pressures keep them so engaged that they do not find time to be interested in what affects others. What affect others. It is only when their own interests are involved that they become agitated and start taking interest in the problem. Next, moving on, fatalism. Some people are so fatalistic that they attribute everything to destiny. Issues like poverty and unemployment are explained in terms of misfortunes and past karma. They, therefore, suffer the misfortune quietly and wait for some miracle to happen. And another one is vested interest. Some people take no interest in the existing problems because they stand to gain so long as the problem exists. Motivated by self interest, they describe the problem as insoluble and talk about its eradication as a waste of time. Last one is absence of expert knowledge. Some people, though deeply concerned about the problem, do not take much interest in it, believing that its solutions is impossible unless people change their attitudes and values. As the changes must be initiated by the change in outlook, they remain unconcerned about finding alternative possibilities to treatment. Dowry is one such a problem in our society. Some people may have incorrect, unreliable, and superficial knowledge or fallacies about social problems. The next, moving on, sources of social problem. Carol AC has pointed out that economical sources like poverty, biological diseases like physical issues, biopsychological sources, neurosis, cultural sources, problem of widow in the society. The next one is causes of social problem. No problem is due to single cause. Due to multifactorial causes like family causes, religious, educational, occupational, socio-cultural, socio-economic, political, geographical, ecological, and against social values, problem in adjustments, population explosion, social disorganization, implementation of street rules, conservative thoughts, and expansive way of living conflict in society. Then consequences and types of social problems. Due to the various causes, societal people faced the following problems: caste system, poverty, child labor, drug addiction, crime, human trafficking, sexual harassment, child marriage, illiteracy, sati practice, alcoholism, dowry system, superstition, beggary, low status of women, sanitation and cleanliness, religious conflicts, juvenile delinquency, and gender inequality at work. Even each and every social problem separate and has a various causes and consequences. So, what are the solutions of social problems? As a human being, we need a certain kinds of changes. One is change in human behavior, change in social structure, value education, legal control, and proper guidance to youth. Then, what kind types of problems in the society? Economic problems, cultural problems, physical or geographical problems, biological problems, and psychological problems. Economic factors. These problems arise due to imbalance in economic distribution, such as poverty, unemployment, etc. Cultural factors. Problems that arise from established beliefs, values, traditions, laws, and languages of a nation or a society fall under this category, such as dowry, child marriage, juvenile delinquency, problems of the aged, the homeless, and the widowed, divorce, illegitimacy, and crime, etc. Physical or geographical factors include the nature of land, water resources, minerals, natural altitudes, etc. Sudden floods and earthquake or they may be cumulative. Biological factors. Intermixture or races, marriage of deficient and unfit persons, and population explosion leading to poverty and unemployment, physical diseases and defect. Psychological factors. Problems that arise from ill mental and neurological health fall under this category, such as neurosis, psychosis, feeble mindedness, suicide, alcoholism, drug abuse, etc. Types Case 1964 has enumerated four types of social problems on the basis of their origin. One is the problems that are rooted in some aspect of the physical environment, problems that are inherent in the nature or distribution of the population involved, problems that result from poor social organization, and problems that evolve from a conflict or cultural values within the society. Stages in the development and end of a social problem. Fuller and Mayers have referred to three stages through which the problem passes in the process of being defined and solved. One is awareness, policy determination, and reform. So, awareness, people become convinced that the problem exists, the condition is undesirable, and that something can be done about it. In the beginning, only a few people raise questions, but gradually more people become aware of the existence of the problem. Policy determinations. As awareness spreads to larger segments of the society, possible solutions come to be discussed. For example, population explosion in India and a discussion of various means of family planning in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 1990s. Thus, the emphasis in the second stage shift from what should be done and how should it be done. And last stage is reform. As basic solutions and policies are decided upon, the stage of action is reached. For example, not only a plan for clearing the slums is put into practice, but people living there are also accommodated elsewhere. No wonder this stage is called the stage of implementation rather than the stage of decisions. And another, Bloomer has referred to five stages in the course of social problem. One is emergence of problem, legitimization of a problem, mobilization of action, formulation of an official plan, implementation of the official plan, improve the movement from one stage to another is not automatic, but it depends on many contingencies. So these are all the stage and development and the end of a social problem. So different authors pointed the different stages for eradicating the problem. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.